everybody. I'm Commissioner Robert Patrick, Chair of PWI, Public Works and Infrastructure. I am joined by my colleague, Commissioner Shakira Johnson, District 4, and Commissioner Masai, District 3, will be joining us shortly. We do have sort of a lengthy agenda, which is why we're going to go ahead and get started right now. If I could, Commissioner Johnson, have you had a chance to look at agenda item 1667?
Yes, sir. I move to approve item 1667.
All right, I'll go ahead and second that. All those in favor, raise your hand, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, we did it. The hard stuff's done.
Commissioner Patrick, this is Commissioner Spears. I'm on Zoom.
Hey, this is Commissioner Spears. How is Commissioner Patrick up there? It's going to be one of those days. We're going to have fun.
Okay,
Commissioner
thank you,
Spears,
sir. I
welcome.
appreciate it.
Grateful to have you here. So thank you so much for being here with us. All right, we're going to move on to Section 2, which is our agenda items. We have Public Works Transportation. We have agenda item 2025-1117. This is for all commission districts. Low bid invitation number 2025-016 ITB roadway striping project, 270 days for use by the Department of Public Works Transportation. Consists of replacing existing roadway pavement markings with new thermoplast pavement markings on portions of 10 county roadways. Recommend award to the lowest responsive and responsible bidder. Peak Pavement Marking LLC, amount not to exceed $460,008.90. Director Keeter, it's good to see you.
I'm here to answer any questions.
Okay, my first question, Chamblee Tucker Road, is that on this?
Chamblee Tucker Road, 85 to North Crest.
Okay. I just want to say to the Embry Hills residents that have been letting me know daily that there's a concern, Ms. Keeter is delivering for us, so thank you very much.
Yeah.
That being said, do you have the other roads that are being considered as well?
Absolutely. Southstone Mountain, Lithonia Road, Rockbridge to Panola, North Harrison Road, East Ponce to Rockbridge, Wesley Chapel Road, I-20 to Crabapple, Briarcliff, Kingscliff to Fielding, Presidential/Buckeye, Chamblee Tucker to Chamblee Tucker, the whole loop. LIB, Covington, Lithonia Industrial Boulevard, Covington Highway to Southstone Mountain, Lithonia, Martin Road, Martindale Lane to Redan, River Road, Boulder Crest Road to Snapfinger Road, North Decatur Road, Claremont Road to Clifton Road, and then last but not least, Chamblee Tucker Road, I-85 to North Crest.
Man, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. Commissioner Johnson, any questions, any concerns?
Just one question. I don't think I saw that list in the agenda item, or if I did, I missed it. Could you email us that?
Absolutely.
Perfect, thank you.
Perfect. Commissioner Terry? Okay. I guess I get a little more excited about road striping than other folks. It's a big deal, and so I really want to say thank you to you, Director Keeter. It's a big deal, so thank you. Okay, well, oh yeah, go ahead.
I did think of another question. So is the striping done with a contractor, or are we using our new striping machine? Didn't we get a new striping machine?
Well, Peggy and Roads and Drainage will get the new striping machine. This is done under contract. All this is contract work.
I thought Commissioner Patrick might be able to drive the new machine, but okay.
It's a lot harder than it looks, just saying.
I'm a lot smarter than I look. And I'm willing to do that. I know. Hey, just a slight rabbit hole. When I was in the running for presiding officer, somebody made the comment that you don't have to be a rocket scientist to do that, and I took it with a smile. So it's all good. Anyway, that said, Commissioner Johnson, unless there's anything else you would like to add, I'll open the floor for a motion.
Yes, sir. I move to approve item 2025-1117.
All right, I'll go ahead and second. All those in favor, raise your hand and say aye.
Aye.
Okay, that's a big deal right there. All right, top of page 2, agenda item 2025-1493. This is for all commission districts. Low bid invitation number 2025-052-ITB, rectangular rapid flashing beacon on Henderson Mill Road, Evans Road, and Flowers Road, 270 days for use by the Department of Public Works Transportation. Consists of the installation of rectangular rapid flashing beacons on Henderson Mill Road, Evans Road, and Flowers Road. Recommend award to the lowest responsive and responsible bidder. GTG Traffic Signals, LLC, amount not to exceed $82,857. Director Keeter.
This says all commission districts, but it's heavy on District 1, I believe.
I noticed that.
Evans Road at Evanswood Drive, Evans Road at Gladney, Flowers at that crosswalk that crosses from
Mercer.
by
Yep.
Mercer University, and then Henderson Mill at Bolero.
Perfect. All right. Commissioners, any questions, concerns, comments? None? Okay. Commissioner Spears, I realize I did not reach out to you before. Do you have any questions or comments on this?
No, sir, I'm good. Thank you for asking, though.
Okay. And just to be clear, if on any of these items, if there's something that I haven't called you on, please feel free to jump in and we'll give you the floor.
Yes, sir, Commissioner Spears, I will do that. I'll just pipe up. It is the Monday before a holiday. Thank you so much. I do appreciate your consideration.
Okay. Commissioner Johnson, if you're ready, I'm ready.
Yes, sir. I move to approve item 2025-1493.
I'll go ahead and second. All those in favor, raise your hand and say aye.
Aye.
All right, moving on. Agenda item 2025-1548. This is for all commission districts. Change order number 4 for contract numbers that we can all read. Engineering and Design Services for Public Works, Transportation and Infrastructure, multi-year contract for use by Public Works Transportation. These contracts consist of providing engineering services to initiate design of select public works infrastructure improvement projects for the county. This request seeks to approve increased contract funds in term through December 31st, 2026, awarded to Atkins Realis USA, we're just going to call them VHB Incorporated, Arcadis Incorporated, Atlas Technical Consultants, and AECom Technical Services Incorporated. Total amount not to exceed $1,947,897.16. Director.
So this is to extend our existing engineering design services contracts, to finish up some minor work, and then to begin work on 3 major initiatives. We just couldn't wait any longer. One of which is the HUD sidewalks at Columbia and Rainbow. One is North Druid Hills at State Route 236 La Vista Road. And one is North Druid Hills at Claremont Road, State Route 155. That's the majority of the funding. We're also doing some test holes for Medlock sidewalks for watershed, so that we can not hit watershed.
Okay.
And we're also doing the Shalford Road concept development for a possible road diet. It's just a study at this point.
And when you say Shalford Road, are you talking 85 to Briarcliff, Shalford Road?
Yes, that's
Perfect.
your
It is. Were there more that you had to add to the?
No, I think there's one more, but it's just a minor one. But the major, almost all of this are the Columbia Rainbow and the 2 North Druid Hills projects.
Okay. I know Commissioner Spears is listening. I receive frequent complaints about traffic around a particular private school at that intersection of Briarcliff and Shalford. Is there a way some type of a traffic study or traffic flow could be done in that area, or is that something well beyond what this is scoped for?
Well, this is scoped more for the road diet. We've actually been working with that school. We've redesigned the traffic signal. We've added additional pedestrian features and pedestrian phasing. We've cut vegetation. We've installed a new ADA ramp, and we've just got to finish up some striping. So we're actively working with that school to increase safety at that intersection. But I think in the future we've got to be mindful, as we allow for zoning, that if it's going to be a school, that they need to be able to function with drop off and pick off on their own lot, and not expect
The public right of way to.
public right of way to be used for such activities.
Understood. Okay. All right. And again, since Commissioner Spears is listening, if this round of efforts doesn't prove fruitful, I'd be willing to partner with her and staff, of course, on some other solution to that. Well, that being said, Commissioner Johnson, do you have any questions?
I did have a question. So the 2 projects you mentioned on Druid Hills, are those sidewalk projects or road diet projects?
It's a modernization of North Druid Hills. It will include a multi-use path on one side, a wider sidewalk on the other side, intersection improvements, some medians. We're not going to be able to widen our way out of our congestion, so we're trying to make things more efficient, to operate more efficiently with some turn lanes and some reducing conflict points. keep our roads at 4 lanes instead of 6 lanes where they become barriers. So we're just modernizing it.
Thank you.
Commissioner Terry?
Thank you, Ms. Chair. What side of the road on North Druid Hills?
You had to ask that. Can I get back with you on it? I think it's on the, I think the path is on the south side and the sidewalk's on the north side, but I will
Okay.
email you that
Okay.
typical section.
Well, I think to me it would make sense to do it on the side where the shopping center is. Is that where it's at? On Druid Hills, Claremont, you said?
Right. Let me just, instead of speaking out of turn, let me just email everybody the typical section. I'll show you exactly where it's proposed.
Okay. Okay. And then the other question was about the road diet. What is our road diet, just general, I guess, policy? I know we did the one on North Indian Creek several years ago. Didn't really work out well from a safety and logistics perspective. Taking the 4 lanes and doing, 2 cross lanes or 2, regular lanes, a turn lane with the islands, and then like little, just basically striping for bicycles, and then the sidewalk. And I think what we're seeing now in the safety sort of policy book is more about, instead of putting bikes on both sides with no buffers and just a painted strip, they actually create a buffered pedestrian bike greenway as a more functional combo for a road diet to be sort of truly safe and segregated. But can you speak about what kind of road diet we're doing?
So, well, we're just studying it now to see if it's feasible. But we are, the standards best practices have changed over the years. I would say on North Indian Creek, we cobbled that together. There was not a project. We had a little striping money and we had a little this money and we got some RFB money, and from the, it was
Right.
totally, it was not a program project. It was something that we just were able to do a little bit at a time.
Yep.
If we were to do that today, we would do it differently.
Okay.
But we would need a budget to do it differently. But we definitely, I think the true, I'll call them spandex bicyclists, that the true commuter bicyclists prefer to be on the road, but most of the population prefers to be on a side path. And we, that's kind of where we're leaning towards now, is doing a side path for peds and bikes, just for safety and have an offset from the cars.
I totally agree, Mr. Chair, and I think it would be good maybe if, at some point in the future, you could just present to the committee sort of what direction y'all are going for road diets, and so we can visualize what those look like. I feel like I've seen them in Atlanta and other jurisdictions around us, maybe Decatur, a good example, but are there any that we built in DeKalb lately?
Trying to think. Well, I mean, the biggest one we built in DeKalb was between Clifton Road and the roundabout at North Decatur, Clifton, between Clifton and Dalman, right there at the big roundabout at Dalman and Emory Village.
Okay.
We have 2 under design currently that we're in the right-of-way phase, one for Mountain Drive, going between Covington and Memorial, and one, the parallel street at Kensington between Covington and Memorial.
Okay.
So we're where they work, it's good to reallocate that pavement for some of our vulnerable road users.
Thank you.
Okay. Commissioner Spears, any comments?
No, sir, but again, thank you for this opportunity. I did want to acknowledge Director Keeter for her leadership and everything she's done to bring this to reality. And that area is certainly in need of some infrastructure updates. So thank you, thank you.
Okay. Commissioners, we are on agenda item 2025-1548, and I will open up the floor for a motion. Let me back up. Commissioner Masai, any questions, any concerns? Are you comfortable moving forward? Okay. I'll go ahead and open the floor for a motion.
I move to approve item 2025-1548.
Second.
All right. All those in favor, raise your hand and say aye.
Aye.
All right. Moving on to Public Works. Thank you, Director.
Thank you.
Moving on to Public Works Sanitation, we have agenda item 2025-1388. This is for Commission Districts 3 and Super 7. Change order number 1 to contract number 2000167, CNG fueling station maintenance and repairs for use by Public Works Sanitation. This contract consists of providing routine and on-call repair and maintenance services to the CNG fueling stations located at the Seminole Road landfill and other locations, as well as the Central Transfer Station. This request seeks to increase the contract's term through June 30, 2026, and funds awarded to Atlanta Gas Light Company amount not to exceed $50,000. Hello, sir.
Hello, Commissioners. This is Shravan Singh, Assistant Director of Sanitation.
Mr. Singh, it's good to see you.
Likewise.
So what can you tell about this that we haven't already heard?
So, yeah, for most part, you said it, what we have, this is a contract term and amount extension for another 6 months until June, and we are in the process of an ITV.
Okay, all right. I'm going to open up the floor for any questions. Commissioners on the committee? No? Commissioner Terry, any questions? No? Commissioner Spears?
No comment. Thank you, sir.
All right, open floor for a motion, Commissioners.
Move to approve item 1388.
Second.
Those in favor, raise your hand and say aye.
Aye.
All right, moving on. We have agenda item 2025-1572. This is for Commission Districts 3 and Super 7. Low bid invitation number 2025-20000165. Conventional grass and annual contract with 2 options to renew for use by Public Works Sanitation consists of the purchase of grass seeding services as a means of erosion prevention and odor control at the Seminole landfill. Recommend award to the lowest responsive and responsible bidder, Brown Management Services Enterprises Incorporated, amount not to exceed $200,167.80. Director.
So this ITB request that we have, this is for slope stabilization at the landfill. Last year we had one emergency contract issued for slope stabilization and the grassing at the east and north side of the landfill. We have done quite a bit work on that, but we want to continue because there was a long time when we could not do any grassing. We have made significant progress. I mean, I have some pictures that I brought for you to look.
Hey, thank you.
So we want to continue to do this thing. So that's why this is a 2-year contract with the 3 annual options to renew. So in the pictures, the first slide shows the left side is the Google Earth image of 2023, and in the right side we took a drone image in July. It was part of another project. That's the approximate area where we did the grassing. As you can see in the next page, it is showing from the top view. It is a little greener. It has been very challenging with the weather. In the initial part of the year, it was all rainy, so slope was not very conducive to do the grassing. And then when the weather came up right, we did the grassing, and then now it is in drought conditions. So, but we have made significant progress, as you can see in the third page or third slide. Grass has been stabilizing, and there are some views that you can see from a distance from the River Road and the Clemont Road. Jack.
Okay.
So, but we want to continue to do that.
Okay. Mr. Singh, thank you very much. Commissioners, any questions? Commissioner Johnson, and then Commissioner Masai, and then Commissioner Terry.
Yes, thank you for being here. Are we hydro seeding?
We were planning on hydro seeding, but it is very expensive.
Okay.
So we kind of dropped that idea for now.
Okay. Got it. Thank you. I yield.
Thank you.
Commissioner
So,
Masai.
thank you so much, Mr. Chair. And so we're not hydro seeding. What exactly we're doing? Just working with you
Yeah,
about the
it's
grass,
primarily
seed?
tilling and then seeding it, matting it. And it is, previously we had one contractor which was grassing on a landfill slope and grassing on a flat area is very different. You need to have somebody who has done this kind of work at landfills, have some experience on landfills. So the contractor that was the only bidder we had, but he's very experienced and he has done a good job.
Okay. And so we have two options to renew. How often do we anticipate having this done?
We plan to do as we extend the area, active area. There is, if you can see in the image, the west side is still not grassed. So our first approach will be to grass that area, and then as we continue to expand, continue to grass that.
Thank you so much. I just want to say I really do appreciate the efforts of the administration and you guys, addressing some of the erosion and odor of Seminole landfills in District 3 as we see, and we regularly get calls about the challenges related to it. So I'm just thankful to see that there's some efforts towards addressing it. So with that, I yield back to you, Mr. Chair. Thank you again.
All right. Before Commissioner Terry starts, I just want to note Commissioner Spears had to jump off to another meeting, so it's just the 4 commissioners that are here. Commissioner Terry?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. Do we cut the grass?
We do.
Okay.
And depending upon, so regulatory, we have to do maintain about 6 inches of grass. That's the regulatory requirement. We do quarterly surface emission monitoring as well. That's also a regulatory requirement that you have to do within 5 centimeter above the surface. You have to monitor how much emissions are coming. So we do. So for that, we have to do cutting the grass or mowing the grass. We do in-house.
You do it in-house?
Yes, at the landfill we do in-house.
About how many hours a month?
We have a decent sized crew for the mowing purposes.
Okay. Commissioners, in the past, I have advocated that instead of doing conventional grass seeding, that we do perennial wildflower seeding. The goal there is, one, to provide anyone who might have a view of the massive mountain in their backyard to provide some level of aesthetic to an otherwise ugly grass mound inside of their neighborhood. 2, it's good for the environment because it's pollinator habitat. And 3, the goal with perennial meadows is such that when you seed them correctly, they are perennial. And so you don't have to keep seeding them over and over again. Once you've established the meadow, it's there. You still have to mow it. Mm-hmm. You just don't have to mow it as much because it's designed to be a meadow that is in harmony with nature. So I would just submit that we could keep spending hundreds of thousands of dollars a year on conventional grass seeds. We could mow it, which takes a considerable amount of person hours to accomplish, or we could move towards a regenerative, sustainable system that would be good for the environment and potentially save us money on an operational basis.
Yeah, if I may, we have been thinking about that, and we use perennial grasses as much as we can. Our design and operations plan that doesn't allow us right now to do any wildflowers. But Georgia EPD, they requires every 5 years we have to renew our DNO plan, and that's due next year. So we are considering to add wildflowers in our DNO plan and see if they approve us to use it.
Okay. That seems impressive.
That's up to them. I don't know.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Terry. Again, that was a good question. Commissioner Masai, you had another one?
Yes, thank you so much, Mr. Chair. And do we actually know what the cost would be to update to the use of perennials versus just the grass seed?
The way, it will be perennial grass will be potentially in long run it will be cheaper. I don't have the exact numbers right now, but we can certainly look at it and how it is. We thought about it, and The moving part is a challenge in perennial grasses, but we have a moving crew, so we can handle everything that is needed.
Yeah, and so, since we have to update it anyway, it'd be great to be able to include those cost projections, since the plan's gonna have to be updated anyway. And then maybe it's done in phases, similar to how, the east side and north side, maybe we just do it in specific phases is better than, not having it to the extent it makes sense. Just one other quick question. How do we gauge the odor that's emulating, out? Like, how do we determine that, and how often do we actually assess that?
We, early in the morning, that's our routine. Every day in the morning, we take a round of all the neighborhoods and evaluate if there is any odor. And we have been doing a very, I say, a good job with respect to our gas collection system. Reduced our working area quite a bit. It's relatively very small as it used to be. Early collection, that's another thing that we are doing. Regulatory requirements are that in the active area, you can have up to 5 years. You don't have to have a GCCS expansion. We have been very, very aggressively attacking that. So let's say in one of the area we have just started filling, but we have put early collectors on that. So as soon as we fill enough trash on that, we will start collecting gas. So that's gas odor and the trash odor. We are aggressively tightening on that.
All right, and then just briefly, and I'll follow up with you on a couple of these other questions offline. But what mechanisms or what process do we put in place if it's emulating more than what's anticipated or what's acceptable on a regular basis? How do we address it?
About odor?
The odor, yes.
The gas is one that we can do the well tuning part. If we see there is we can assess how the well tuning is. Maybe we can find some areas, or if we have working area that is not, we can shorten a little bit more, or we can put some daily cover. Daily cover is daily practice. We do it at the end of the day. Those are the things. You can put more dirt. Those are the things that we do generally.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much, Mr. Singh. I yield back to you, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Terry.
Yes, thank you, Commissioner Patrick. I do want to reflect that since I've been on the commission, neighborhoods in the surrounding area have complained about the odor over a 5-year period. Obviously, there are certain days where it's sort of worse than others, and I certainly acknowledge the sanitation department's efforts to cover over with mulch, and sort of be a very efficient operation there. Based on the EPA's analysis of landfills, the number one cause of the odor is methane. Is that correct? And organic compounds?
Actually, technically, methane doesn't have any smell.
Okay. Or the organic compounds?
It's non-methane organic compounds that are the one that creates a smell.
Okay.
But landfill gas, and then there are other, like the type of waste that you dispose of. If you have a lot of C&D type of waste, hydrogen sulfide can be emitted. That can cause some odor. So those are the thing in the gas wise. And then there are, if your active area is not properly managed, you can get odor from active area as well. So that's why the requirement is that you have to do the daily cover. Put 6 inches of soil or something.
And so in your professional opinion, if we reduce the amount of food waste going into the landfill and diverted that to a composting system, would that reduce odors?
I have to see, but in general, if you are putting if you are covering your trash properly as needed, and if you are collecting your gas as needed, generally odor-wise it should not be a problem. Food waste decomposes really fast, so that gives us the gas as well. So that gives us advantage in terms of gas collection. If you have a RNG facility running or gas to energy facility running, so that way in the landfill. Food waste decomposes fast. I'm composting is another good way to do it. Anaerobic digestion is also a good way to do it for food waste if you can segregate it out properly.
Okay. I will reflect, though, I don't think we've, the contract for the renewable energy facility hasn't come online, correct?
Not yet. It's in the process. We have
Okay.
been working aggressively with them.
All right, it's been 3 years, 2 years?
A change order is awarded last year, December.
Okay. All right, well, we don't even want to dwell on it, but at some point, you got to do something, because that was almost $26 million in revenues that were expected to be collected that we're not collecting because no one's, plugging the pipe. I think we're actually flaring most of the methane. Is that right?
No, we are running gas to energy as well. So part of the gas, about 1,200 SCFM, is going on gas to energy plant, and rest of it is flaring.
It's flaring, okay,
Yes.
which is a lot because it only has a certain number of megawatts. Commissioners, in the sanitation rate increase that we passed 3 years ago, in that ordinance was a provision to open up a composting facility in 2026. And so I think we are currently behind on that goal. I know Director Wells is leading the Pole Bridge Master Plan, but whether it's Pole Bridge or if you're updating your plan, your 5-year plan with EPD, hopefully they could also consider inclusion of a compost facility at Seminole Road with the purpose of diverting more food waste out of the landfill, which would expand the capacity as well as create a revenue source for the county. So hopefully that's something you're considering in addition to the other things that you mentioned. Thank you.
All right. Commissioners, that said, this is regarding grassing of the sloped areas. So unless there's any other questions, open the floor for a motion.
Motion to approve agenda item ending in 1572.
Second.
All right, all those in favor, raise your hand and say aye.
Aye.
All right, moving on. Top of page 3. This is for agenda item 2025-1575. This is for all commission districts. Change order number 1 to contract number 2000427, commercial containers, commercial container lids, commercial recycling containers, and roll-off containers for use by the Department of Public Works Sanitation. This contract consists of supplying commercial containers for the roll-off and commercial services throughout the county. This request seeks to ratify a previously approved contract term increase. This request also seeks to increase the contract's term through February 28, 2026, and funds awarded to Waste Quip Manufacturing Company, LLC, amount not to exceed $362,162. Mr. Singh?
Again, that's exactly what it says. We are asking for another $362,000 to buy additional roll-offs and commercial containers.
Okay. Just out of curiosity, is February 2026, that's only, 3-4 months from now? Is that sufficient time?
Yeah, this is, I double-checked today. Yeah, it is sufficient time for buying
Okay.
that.
Perfect. Commissioners, any questions, any comments? Commissioner Johnson?
Yes, so to clarify, the additional roll-off containers and lids will be here by February 26th, or
I think we'll be putting the order by then.
put the order
Yeah.
in then. So do we have an
There
idea?
is a lag time, and
Do you know what that
and
lag time is?
I have to check on that. I'm sorry.
If you can email us, the commission as a whole, that'd be helpful.
Zach might have.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say, I know that they've had these teed up. We've been having this conversation the past couple of months. So I think it's a matter of just pulling the trigger.
Okay, good. Commissioner Masai, Commissioner Terry.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chair. And so there's 500 containers, and I see where we've differentiated the cubic yards for each of the containers and the quantities. Do we know this is to replace the existing old and salvaged ones that have holes? Have we identified the properties and the residences of which these containers? I see a yes from COO Williams.
Businesses.
Okay.
In most cases, yes, we have identified. And it's been quite some time. They have been in real bad shape right now, so we are in urgent need of those.
Then they couldn't come soon enough then, huh? Fantastic. With that, I yield back to you, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
You know, if they get delivered in the green cans by Christmas time, it'd be a great present for everybody. Commissioner Terry.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just wanted to ask either Zach or the Law Department, has the administration completed the review of all of the commercial entities that are not using DeKalb sanitation for commercial service?
Let me double check. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, we'll have
I know we've had meetings and discussions.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll get back to you on that,
Okay.
Commissioner.
And just a reminder for anyone that might have missed out on this conversation or forgot, I believe the Law Department shared with us maybe 3 years ago at this point that the solid waste permit for DeKalb County is such that every commercial enterprise in DeKalb County must use DeKalb sanitation for their commercial services. This is very important because if a private entity is providing that service, that is a revenue source that we're losing. And so if our state contract mandates that we are the main provider and we are not enforcing it, we're potentially leaving millions of dollars on the table by letting a business, you know, use Waste Management or Waste Pro or, you know, whatever the other dozen operators are out there. The $349,000 is coming from the enterprise fund. And so, you know, these things cost money. And if there's a business out there, you know, that should be using DeKalb sanitation, we should just remind them of the law, right? And then request that they sign up for a service with our great team at DeKalb Sanitation. Thank you.
Commissioner Patrick, I just want to be clear what the commission would want from the law department in that regard. If you want us to revisit whether or not the solid waste permit requires that still, we can do that part. The enforcement component would not be the law department. That would be a field exercise. So I want to be clear. Are you just looking for us to revisit the permit?
I think y'all did a memo on it. So if you could just find that memo or opinion and just share it with everybody. Again, it's not our responsibility necessarily. It's if it's already in the law. We just need the administration to, you know, enforce it.
Received. Thank you.
All right, Commissioner Masai.
Interim County Attorney Phillips, any thoughts as to, or do we already have a mechanism in place in terms of enforcement? Because of course that wouldn't be law. So any thoughts there?
My thought would be to give COO Williams and the team an opportunity to coordinate with us as we look at this solid waste permit memo and come back with a full explanation to the commission of how we're going to address this moving forward. I can't speak for COO Williams. I hope that's okay.
No, that does. We want to just make sure that we understand clearly how and where it applies. But
And then any needs from the board in order to get it accomplished, you know, to make sure that you can even, you know, you have the resources to get it done. So, thank you so much. You'll back to you, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. Commissioners, unless there's any other questions, I'll open the floor for a motion.
Move to approve item ending in 1575.
Second.
I'll go ahead and say raise your hands, and all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Perfect. Okay.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Next, we're moving on to Public Works, Roads, and Drainage. We have agenda item 2025-1587. This is for all commission districts. Change order number 4 to contract number 1223623, HDPE Pipeliners, annual contract with 2 options to renew for use by Public Works, Roads, and Drainage. This contract consists of providing high-density polyurethane pipeliners. This request seeks to increase the contract term through December 31st, 2026, awarded to Contech Engineered Solutions, LLC. Contract term increase only. Director Allen, good to see you.
Good afternoon. Thank you. This is pretty much what it says. We're seeking to just extend the term only. We still have significant funds on the contract, just so we can continue purchasing HDPE pipe for our processes.
Understood. Commissioners, any questions? No? Commissioner Terry, you're good? All right, seeing no other questions, I'll open the floor for a motion. Go ahead.
Motion to approve agenda item ending in 1587.
Second.
All right, all those in favor, raise your hand and say aye.
Aye.
All right, moving on, we have agenda item 2025-15 5-0. This is for all commission districts. Low bid invitation number 2025-040-ITB, 2025 LMIG resurfacing projects for use by Public Works Roads and Drainage. Consists of resurfacing DeKalb County roads. Recommend award to the lowest responsive and responsible bidder. Triple R Paving and Construction, LLC, amount not to exceed $16,441,457.68. And I don't have my computer in front of me. Has this come back from audit? Not yet. Okay. We can just pass over this and it will come back in through the normal course. Okay. Commissioners, we're going to hop down to Department of Watershed Management. Agenda, and thank you, Director.
Thank you.
Appreciate you being here. Agenda item 2025-1361. This is for all commission districts. Change order number 2 to contract number 1257867, valves, tapping sleeves, and fire hydrants, multi-year contract for use by the Department of Watershed Management. This contract consists of the purchase of valves, tapping sleeves, and fire hydrants. This request seeks to increase the contract term through December 31st, 2026. Awarded to Ferguson Waterworks. Contract term increase only. Director Wells, good to see you.
Yes, sir. Likewise. Thank you all. Yes, this item is a commodities contract that we utilize through a normal course of daily operations. And for that reason, we do need the contract extension in order to ensure we're covered. And ultimately, the intent is to reprocure later.
Yep, okay. Commissioners, any questions? No? Okay. Director Wells, I know I ask this frequently, and I apologize for asking it again. Can we get some type of a report that identifies all the locations of the fire hydrants and then the status of it's repaired, it's functional, or it's down and on a repair list? Can we have something like that?
Yes, I believe Chief Fulham
Okay.
provided a dashboard that they utilize.
Okay.
We ultimately have the means to provide data as it relates to referral work orders and completion, things of that nature. But inspections are conducted
Through fire.
Yes,
Understood.
sir.
Okay. And thank you for the reminder if you said that before.
Yeah, but we partner to ensure that the county is most definitely covered.
Perfect. Okay. Commissioners, unless there's any questions, I'll open the floor for a motion.
Motion to approve agenda item ending in 1361.
Second.
All right. We got proper motion and second. All those in favor, raise your hand and say aye.
Aye.
All right, moving on to the top of page 4, we have agenda item 2025-1416. This is for all commission districts. Change order number 3 to contract number 1282666. Manhole rings, covers, and valve boxes, 3-year multi-year contract for use by the Department of Watershed Management. This contract consists of the purchase of manhole rings, covers, and valve boxes. This request is to increase contract term and funds through December 31st, 2026. Awarded to Metals and Materials Engineers, LLC, amount not to exceed $1,300,000. Director Wells?
Yes, sir. This is also a commodities contract that we utilize to procure the items mentioned. And in this case, we do need to add funds, and likewise, we'll like the existing contract extended through the end of the year next year, 2026.
All right. Commissioners, any questions? No. Okay. Open floor for a motion.
Motion to approve agenda item ending in 1416.
Second.
Okay, we got proper motion, proper second. All those in favor, raise your hand and say aye.
Aye.
All right, moving on. We have agenda item 2025-1447. This is for all commission districts. Change order number 3 to contract number 1242005. Electrical switchgear inspections and repair, annual contract with 2 options to renew for use by the Department of Watershed Management. This contract consists of providing inspection and repair of switchgear equipment at water and wastewater treatment plants. This request seeks to increase the contract term through March 31st, 2027. Awarded to Cleveland Electric Company. Contract term increase only. Director Wells.
Yes, sir. This is a very important item for us as all of our facilities utilize very high voltage electricity, and these are the items. This particular contract mechanism allow us to do the preventative inspections and repair on a proactive basis to ensure that we can operate 24/7 for the county.
And we appreciate that very much. Commissioners, any questions? No questions. All right, I'll open the floor for a motion.
Move to approve item 1447.
Second.
All right, all those in favor, raise your hand and say aye.
Aye.
Got that taken care of. The next item, agenda item 2025-1552. This is for all commission districts. Low bid invitation number 2025-033, ITB Water and Wastewater Laboratory Analytical 3-year multi-year contract for use by the Department of Watershed Management. Consists of analyzing DeKalb County water and wastewater samples according to the most cost-effective, current, and acceptable standards permitted by Georgia Environmental Protection Division and the United States Environmental Protection Agency. Recommend award to the sole responsive and responsible bidder, Eurofins Environmental Testing Southeast LLC, amount not to exceed $300,000. Director Wells.
Yes, sir. This particular item is specific to laboratory services that's required by the regulators to ensure that we are in compliance with issued permits for each of our facilities. Although we do have capabilities in-house and we do a significant amount of sampling and analyzing, there is a requirement for the validation and continuous checks.
Understood.
And this is what this vehicle serves.
Okay. Just to ask, so when the populations have like a pandemic like COVID, I know that you guys were doing water sampling. Is that essentially what this is, or is this just plain old, the water is safe and as it goes through this process?
So most of that we do in-house. This is the validation of what we're doing is consistent with yeah. So this is a check and balances for us. So when we say that we are producing clean and safe drinking water and the number of samples that are within compliance, this is a certification of that.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Understood.
We have to send a certain batch of those samples out to these type of labs to reiterate that we are indeed as we say we are.
They're the verification on the trust
Absolutely.
that we're doing our job. So, okay.
Trust but verify.
Exactly right. Commissioner Johnson?
Yes, that did trigger a question for me. So how often are we sending out the batches? Is this quarterly, monthly, yearly?
So typically monthly.
Monthly. Okay.
Yeah, we have all our regulatory reporting is pretty much on a monthly basis. So we, and as needed too, if there's a reason to do more frequent, we will, but primarily monthly.
Understood. Thank you. I yield.
Okay. Any other questions, commissioners? All right, seeing none, open the floor for a motion.
Move to, go ahead.
Yeah.
Move to approve item ending in 1552.
Second.
All right, all those in favor, raise your hand and say aye.
Aye.
All right, moving on. Thank you, Director Wells. Next is, well, I guess you might still be with us.
Yeah.
Watershed Management and Public Works, Roads and Drainage. Agenda item 2025-1376. Change order number 3 to contract number 1275646, manhole castings and accessories, 3-year multi-year contract for use by the Department of Watershed Management and Public Works, Roads and Drainage. This contract consists of the purchase of manhole castings and accessories. This request seeks to increase the contract term and fund through December 31st, 2026, awarded to Ferguson Waterworks, amount not to exceed $50,000. Director?
Yes, sir. This is a commodities contract that we utilize to purchase those items. We use them on a daily basis, not only us, but as well as our partners in Public Works. This contract will ultimately be extended to the end of next year with the additional funding of $50K to ensure that we can continue to utilize this mechanism to do just that.
Okay. Commissioners, any questions? Go ahead.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Chair. So extended to the end of next year, and then are we rebidding it?
Yes. So yes, for pretty much all of these that we're extending, that's the intent, unless there's a renewal option still remaining. If not, the intent is to go to the market to reprocure.
Understood. Thank you.
All right, unless there's any other questions, open the floor for a motion.
Move to approve item 1376.
Second.
All right, all those in favor, raise your hand and say aye.
Aye.
All right, moving on, top of page 5. Next item is agenda item 2025-1475. This is for all commission districts. Change order number 2 to contract number 1372099, cooperative agreement for safety shoes, Fairfax County, Virginia, contract number 440000120004 for use by the Department of Watershed Management, Public Works, Roads and Drainage, Department of Recreation, Parks and Cultural Affairs, Public Works Fleet Management, Beautification and Sanitation. This contract consists of the purchase of safety shoes for various types and sizes. This request seeks to increase the contract term and funds through March 31st, 2027, awarded to Safeguard Safety Shoe Company. Total amount not to exceed $481,239.75.
Yes, sir. This is a cooperative agreement that allow us to be able to purchase required safety shoes in the most effective and efficient manner.
It's important for our staff to have a good footing on their jobs.
Absolutely, always, always.
Yes, yes. Come on, Ted. Come on, Ted. That was a good one. We need to get you some kids, man. Commissioners, any questions for the director?
I did have, he practiced, so.
Captive audience.
I did have one question. Is this one of those mobile units that comes out?
Yes, typically, all of our units, all employees utilize that except those that may have a medical need or some other specific need outside of normal course.
Understood. Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions, commissioners? Seeing none, we'll open the floor for a motion.
Motion to approve agenda item ending in 1475.
Second.
All right, we got proper motion, proper second. All those in favor, raise your hand and say aye.
Aye.
All right, moving on, Department of Watershed Management, under previously heard items, we have agenda item 2025-1442. This is all commission districts. Change order number 2 to contract number 1259123, Restoration Services, 3-year multi-year contract for use by the Department of Watershed Management. This contract consists of labor and materials for the restoration of property to include concrete installations, sodding, and landscaping services. This request seeks to increase the contract term through June 30, 2026, awarded to Autoco Development, LLC. Contract term increase only. Director?
Yes, sir. This item allow us to provide restoration services when we're responding to a main break or a collapse or any normal course of business. We do like to ensure that we can restore within 30 days, worst case, and this contract mechanism allows us to do just that.
Okay, perfect. Commissioners, any questions? Seeing none, I'll open the floor for a motion.
Motion to approve agenda item ending in 1442.
Second.
All right, we got a proper motion, proper second. All those in favor, raise your hand and say aye.
Aye.
Moving on, we have agenda item 2025-1460. This is for all commission districts. Change order number 1 to contract number 1308604, ductile iron water pipe, 3-year multi-year contract for use by the Department of Watershed Management. This contract consists of providing ductile iron water pipe. This request seeks to increase the contract term through December 31st, 2026, awarded to Ferguson Waterworks. Contract term increase only. Director?
Yes, sir. This is a commodity contract. We standardize on ductile iron pipe. That's our pipe material of choice in our system for both water and sewer system. And this contract allow us to ensure we remain in stock as needed to serve the county.
Okay. Commissioners, any questions? No. Director Wells, just out of curiosity, could you maybe for the last few years give us a year-by-year analysis of how many miles of pipe we've ordered, just to know?
I could get that for you.
Ordered and installed.
Ordered and installed. That would be helpful to know.
Will do.
Ordered and installed, so that we know what our stock is. But yeah, that's I think that's a good point.
Yeah, and in some cases, interesting enough, we do provide pipe to our contractors if ultimately it's more beneficial to the county to do so versus allowing them to procure. So I'll get some stats to spell out.
And again, just as a follow-up to that, is there a certain minimum that we want to have in on hand at all times, just in case things go bad?
Absolutely. We do have restocking levels, a minimum amount of quantity we like to keep per size. We most commonly use 6-inch and 8-inch, and then the quantities decrease as size increase.
Sure.
But I'll get you guys some information.
Okay.
And
All right.
provide
Thank
all
you.
the details.
Commissioners, unless there are any other questions, open the floor for a motion.
Motion to approve agenda item ending in 1460.
Second.
Proper motion, proper second. All those in favor, raise your hand and say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right. Top of page 6, we have agenda item 2025-1474. This is for all commission districts. Change order number 2 to contract number 1268548, formerly known as 1210485. Consent decree, construction management services, gravity sewer rehabilitation and replacement for use by the Department of Watershed Management. This contract consists of providing construction management services for various gravity sewer collection system rehabilitation and replacement projects. This request is to extend the contract term through December 31st, 2027, awarded to Gresham Smith CERM joint venture. Contract term extension only. Director.
Yes, sir. This is for construction maintenance services specific to some consent decree rehab activities, and there's synergy in maintaining existing vendor, which is why we're electing to extend the contract term to the end of 2027. Right now, funding is not an issue as we,
Right.
have
We have
been previously wrapped down, but it'll be wrapping up. So we ask that you guys approve this item.
Okay. Commissioners, any questions? Any comments?
My question was going to be about the funding, but he answered that, so.
Okay.
We're good at the moment.
At the moment.
Yeah.
Seeing no other questions, I'll open the floor for a motion.
Motion to approve agenda item ending in 1474.
Second.
All right, proper motion, proper second. All those in favor, raise your hand and say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, moving on, we have agenda item 2025-1327. This is for all commission districts. RFP, request for proposal number 2025-051, RFP on-call engineering services, multi-year contract for use by the Department of Watershed Management. Consists of providing on-call engineering services that primarily includes engineering studies, design, land surveying, construction, administration, and related services for water and wastewater projects under the Capital Improvement Program and consent decree. Recommend award to the 8 highest scoring proposers: Tetra Tech Incorporated, Brown and Caldwell Incorporated, CDM Smith Incorporated, Stan Tech Consulting Services Incorporated, Arcadis US Incorporated, Hazen and Sawyer, Carollo Engineers Incorporated, and Gresham Smith for a total not to exceed $64 million. And have we have received that one back?
Remaining on have been supported by audit review.
They've been supported by audit, okay. Director Wells, this is a big number, so can you give us a little more detail beyond what was just said?
Absolutely. So it's important to note that we went with 2 additional vendors where we traditionally do 6, but the funding is consistent. We're budgeting about $2 million a year per vendor. Ultimately, because we are ramping up our capital, thus we'll need additional A&E support, engineering support, which is why we elected to award to 2 additional vendors and and fund accordingly. So it's pretty consistent with our practice. It's just the capacity needs have grown because of the amount of work that's anticipated going for the 1010, the $4 billion capital over the next 10 years.
Right.
So to ensure that we're covered, we're awarding to 8 vendors as opposed to 6.
Okay, all right. Commissioners, any questions, any concerns?
No, I will say, I don't think we left any engineering companies out there. I think we're hitting them all at this point.
Yeah, there were a few.
There were a couple.
We did ensure that we awarded to those that ranked pretty high. We didn't, it's definitely, although we increased quantity, we didn't diminish quality.
Understood. Okay.
Absolutely.
Commissioner Terry.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And Director Wells, this is just for on-call. So is it
Correct.
mostly for emergency, or is it
No,
for specific
no.
projects?
So this will be primarily utilized for design and construction.
Design and construction? Okay.
Construction, yes, sir.
Okay. And can you just explain why y'all chose to go with design and construction? Because that's basically all in one package, right? Does it save time and
Well, yes.
efficiency?
Yes. Yes. I think design build is what you're looking
Yep,
for.
yep.
This kind of allow us to do that in the means where we have on-call contractors already.
Mm-hmm.
So this give us the on-call ability to do design, so we can actually proceed, especially with existing infrastructure. We can make timely awards to both and design as we're in tandem of each work order, as opposed to the traditional design bid build, which usually takes more time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you.
Okay.
All right, Commissioners, unless there's any other questions, I'll open the floor for a motion.
Move to approve agenda item ending in 1327.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor, raise your hand and say aye.
Aye.
All right. Moving on, we have agenda item 2025-1403. This is a change order number 4 to contract number 1283955, cooperative agreement for consent decree, trenchless technology rehabilitation, external point repairs, and related products and services. Omnia Partners Cooperative Purchase Agreement number R170802, DeKalb Cooperative Agreement for use by the Department of Watershed Management. This contract consists of providing sewer system trenchless sewer line rehabilitation services. This request seeks to increase the performance time, scope of work, funding, and contract term through December 31st, 2027, awarded to SAK Construction, LLC, amount not to exceed $21,543,303.91. And we're good to go. Mr. Campbell has come through from that as well. Director Wells?
Yes, sir. This vendor has performed great for us as it relates to rehab. Obviously, we're under the consent decree, and we're trying to ensure that we meet some impending deadlines, which is why we've requested the extension through 2027.
Understood. Commissioners, any additional questions? Any concerns, comments? No? Okay. Seeing none, I'll open the floor for a motion.
Move to approve agenda item ending in 1403.
Second.
Proper motion, proper second. All those in favor, raise your hand and say aye.
Aye.
All right. Commissioners, top of page 7. Agenda item 2025-1407. This is for all commission districts. Change order number 7 to contract number 1177081, trenchless sewer line rehabilitation and construction and televising inspection services. Savannah contract, event number 5937, buyer contract number 886, DeKalb Cooperative Agreement for use by the Department of Watershed Management. This contract is a cooperative agreement and consists of providing sewer line rehabilitation services to primarily include inspections, sewer line cleaning, and cured-in-place pipe. This request seeks to increase scope of work and funding awarded to Instituform Technologies, LLC, amount not to exceed $16,005,309.86.
Yes, sir, it has.
Director? Okay. Fantastic. All right, Mr. Campbell, once again, thank you. Director Wells?
Yes, this particular change order for Essentialform is really to address about 6,000 linear feet of some large diameter cured-in-place lining that we need, which is why we elected to change order this specific vendor who's known as an industry leader as it relates to this form of work, and more in particular because it is large diameter, meaning size ranges from 30-inch to 48-inch in that diameter sanitary sewer pipe. And we've had, luckily, this vendor for some time. It's one of the co-ops I initiated when I was here previously, and
Okay.
it really has served us well. So,
Perfect. All right.
absolutely.
Commissioners, any questions for the director?
I just have one brief one, if I may, Mr. Chair, because just looking at, the similarities in terms of the trenchless technology rehab, but noticing the previous agenda item specifically referenced the cooperative agreement for the consent decree. Is it that this particular vendor, Intuitiform Technologies, is not working to address the consent decree, or in addition to just wanting to better understand where there may be a difference between this and the previous agenda item and the vendor?
So, this one just lacked to specify consent decree, but this is exactly the reason for doing this particular co-op initially, because of we were trying to get ahead of some milestones at the time, and the most efficient manner to hit the ground running was this particular co-op. I think the language was probably just preserved from years ago and wasn't specified for a consent decree, but it's very much so dealing with the sanitary sewer, which is the purview of the consent decree.
Okay, and so if I'm to understand you, then this particular vendor is addressing, some of the concerns related to the consent decree
Yes,
as
ma'am.
well? Okay.
Absolutely.
It's just on a different diameter of sewer line?
Correct.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Correct.
I'll yield back to you, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Okay. Commissioner Johnson, any questions? Are you good?
No, I was going to ask for that
So-
point of clarification on the difference in the
So if you're-
size of the sewer.
Yes, ma'am. So I'm glad you, for point of clarity. If you notice, the request to seek increased scope of work and funding, because previously it was small diameter work. This is specific to some large diameter work.
And then the previous agenda item was SAK construction. Is that typically more of the smaller diameter?
Absolutely. Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. Thank you, guys.
Unless there's any questions, I'll open the floor for a motion.
Motion to approve agenda item ending in 1407.
Second.
All right, all those in favor, raise your hand and say aye.
Aye.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, so the next item is Commissioner Terry's item. I'll just sound it out. 2024-0525. This is for all commission districts, a resolution to establish an environmental justice and sustainability resident advisory group. As I recall, Ted, I thought there was a conversation between you and the administration. Has that been answered, and are you ready to move forward?
Yes, I am definitely ready to move forward.
Okay.
Would you like me to share the substitute?
Please.
Yeah, so basically the substitute simply just adds in a provision which is not redlined, so I don't know where it is. Basically just recognizing, oh, here it is.
Section
It's in
4.
section 4. Oh, it's not, it's printed, but it's in black and white. So yes, on page 2, under section 4, in addition to the 100% clean energy and transportation transition plan as being this group's key sort of oversight responsibilities, we added in provide community-led oversight on developments that may be resource intensive or highly polluting, requesting a special land use permit, such as data centers. And and then we updated the dates just to align with if this got approved this year, then the first meeting, the hopeful aspirational first meeting would be in March of 2026, and then we just adjust every date afterwards to be in line with that March.
Okay. Just from familiarity for some other similar items that we've had in the past, there seems to be at times some concern over the use of the word oversight. Can you kind of flesh that idea out for us?
Well, this is an advisory group, so the extent of their powers would simply just to give us their opinion.
Okay. As long as the emphasis is on the advisory, I think that's not a problem at all. I just know that sometimes when the idea is oversight, that the Board of Commissioners has been hesitant to use that concept. But Commissioners, I want to open the floor up to you guys. Do you have any questions for Commissioner Terry?
Yes, I do. Just in terms of providing the oversight, particularly as we're dealing with environments and sustainability and those particular challenges, what type of level of expertise do you anticipate the committee members have, if any?
Well, we've given appointments to the CEO, the House delegation, Senate delegation, DeKalb School Board, DeKalb Municipal Association, DeKalb Soil Water Conservation. Each Board of Commissioners decide DeKalb, and then we have added a provision based on Commissioner Patrick's feedback about any city that would like to basically pass a resolution in support of environmental justice. They would be given an additional seat on this board. In my honest opinion, the main requirement for these boards is someone that's interested in environmental justice. I don't think it necessarily means they have to be an expert. I personally probably would appoint someone with a public health background. That would be my recommendation. But environmental justice is pretty broad, so someone who has experience in environmental policy, environmental justice directly, public health, land use and development, I think would be appropriate. So we didn't really stipulate membership requirements, simply because that would create an additional layer of bureaucracy that might make it difficult to fill these positions. I'd be totally happy if any one of us just picked a citizen that cares about these issues, from our district. I think that'd be acceptable as well.
All right, and I could appreciate, the level of passion that some folks have related to environmental justice, and I like the idea of there being that public health component, and they don't have to be necessarily experts in the field, but to have some type of level of expertise, particularly as they are providing, oversight and informing us, and/or the community in and around these particular issues. I'd like them to have more than just a general drive and passion, and I could appreciate that it's been extended to the administration to decide DeKalb and others to appoint someone, but for them to have some type of a background that helps to give them a different lens and an additional insight as they're providing oversight, I think would be helpful, to the extent that we're amenable and just, ensuring that we have that as a part of. I don't want someone that just cares about environmental justice to be advising the community and/or myself in terms of policies that we should be promoting and moving forward. And with that, I yield back to you, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Mr. Chair, if I may, I just want to be helpful to the committee. If you look at Section 6, Commissioner Terry, when you worked with us, you listed a number of things to expand on the interest in this area. That paragraph is on page 3. It says the appointing official shall endeavor to appoint individuals who are experts in the area of scientific analysis, review of existing and potential policy, and legislation concerning environmental justice or clean technology, while also representing a broad variety of county interests, including but not limited to representatives from impacted communities and environmental justice organizations. That's what you worked. I just thought that would help.
That's very helpful.
The commissioners.
I think that pretty much covers what Commissioner Messiah was referencing.
Okay. Any other questions, comments, concerns? Okay. And Attorney Attorney Phillips, since you weighed in, you have been involved in these revisions, and this is something that's been through legal review?
We have not. Sorry. Mr. Chair, we have not been involved in the latest draft. These changes that are marked changes were not looked at by the law department. The one thing that we have consistently cautioned about is use of the term oversight. And given that that term is here, I would recommend either a different term off the cuff, an opportunity to speak with Commissioner Terry and expressly define it in the body of this resolution if he felt strong about keeping it, so that there would be no confusion about how an advisory group, which this expressly is, then engages in oversight. By defining it, maybe we could spell that out, or coming up with some other term that wouldn't seem so contradictory.
Give me another word.
You want another word right now? I like advisory.
Great, let's change that then.
Okay. So it would say, if you look at the first one, provide community-led advisory input on number 3.
That's good.
Could you just remind us of what paragraph you're on?
You're on paragraph 3 on page 1, and this is off the cuff, and we'll think about it and come back. And I just want to clarify where these thoughts are coming from. So for the entire committee, if you look at the last whereas clause, this is the Environmental Justice and Sustainability Resident Advisory Group. That's the title the commissioner used. So we would remove oversight in paragraph 3 and put advisory input. And then in the next section, paragraph 4, just use advisory input again.
Yeah, that's it. I'm good with that.
So it would say provide community-led advisory input on developments that may be resource intensive, et cetera. And I'll sleep on that. I will just caution you, commissioners, this is my second week with you. It is much easier to do this privately. I will not always be willing or able to do this for you on the fly. With all due respect to Commissioner Terry, this is not about just your item, but I'm noticing a pattern where we are on the fly in a public setting talking about language and details, and that is just not what's best for the entity DeKalb County. So I just want to offer that we need to find a way to speak privately about the law department's input, and I will be working with you to push that with all due respect and deference to all of you.
Okay. All right. Zach, on behalf of the administration.
So it was my understanding, and I'm not sure if this is one of them, but that Commissioner Terry and the CEO were going to go over a number of items that are awaiting input from the CEO. So I can't speak to that. I don't believe that meeting has taken place yet. I'm not sure if this was one of the items. So
Okay. Hang on one second, Commissioner Johnson. 1 second. Commissioner Terry, not to put you on the spot, have the conversations happened with you and CEO's office yet?
Well, we're meeting tomorrow to go over, I think, all the items that are on the BOC agenda
Okay.
that have received, that need to receive input from the administration. I'll just remark that this resolution, the creation of the advisory board, is within the Board of Commissioners' powers to create an advisory group. It'd be great, obviously, if the administration was a part of it. So, I mean, I'm happy to, have this just go to the full board without a recommendation from PWI if we want. I hate for this to have to, go into next year's agenda, because it has been on the agenda
For some time.
for a while now.
Okay. All right.
I think we pretty much talked this one to death. I don't know what else we would change, quite frankly. I mean, the CEO gets 3 appointments. I think that's pretty generous. There's reference of a DeKalb County Sustainability Officer. I mean, again, it's just recommendations, so, can't make the administration hire anybody, but that was in our clean energy transition plan. And really what I'm doing here, Commissioner, is just following the study that we paid for and that we adopted, the actual report said the next step was to create this community advisory board. And then, there's a couple more things after that.
All right, Commissioner Terry, thank you. Commissioner Johnson, acknowledging, not delaying or deferring, but just acknowledging.
I do have a couple questions, so thank you, Mr. Chair. For the appointments, there's multiple entities that are outside just DeKalb BOC that can have an appointment. Commissioner Terry, have you had conversations with these entities? Do they know this is coming? Have a heads up been given that they may need to make an appointment?
So I will reflect that the House and Senate delegation actually introduced a state environmental justice commission. I think the last 2 sessions, of course, that failed. So I know the House and Senate delegation are in favor of this. I don't think I've spoken with the school board, but I don't see why they'd be against it. DeKalb Municipal Association, I haven't necessarily talked with them about this either. I think that was really just Commissioner Patrick was saying, let's get the cities involved, and so we kind of worked through that. DeKalb Soil Water Conservation is definitely interested, and I do believe Decide DeKalb is also interested because of the brownfield program, and there's some overlap with sort of things they're doing, in that realm.
So kind of a follow-up on that. So when this gets passed, how is communication to the other entities? And then how much time is given for the appointments to be made before meetings could convene?
Well, I think the quorum is 9, right? County Attorney Phillips?
Yes, I think that's what
So really, I think that's the triggering factor. And then we did update the resolution to say that the first meeting would be in March of 2026. So at some point, so basically 3 months if it passed before the end of the year would be the preference. But, just kind of like a SPOS committee, if we don't have a quorum, then sort of whenever the quorum is reached would be sort of the launching off point.
Okay.
Commissioner Terry, be careful. It is 9, but it's 9 voting members. You do have 1 non-voting member.
Yes, thank you.
So it would
That's
have
correct.
to be 9 voting.
So additional question on the members. Paragraph 5 is saying comprises 17 voting members and 1 non-voting member, which would give you your quorum of 9 voting members. But if the cities sign on, then they can also appoint. So that would get us a lot more than 18 members. So should we add a minimum of 17 members? Do we need to make that clarification in that item to cover the additional? Because if all 13 cities were to adopt and sign on, that's 13 more potential members.
I think that was, I'm open to that. I'm trying to think through the practicality. I honestly wasn't thinking we'd get a lot of cities signing on like right away. I think Decatur and Clarkston are the only cities that have a clean energy plan, but it's possible others,
So I guess
would join.
definitely consider I guess my point would be just as I read the language, it says shall be comprised of, and there's not a minimum. So if cities sign on, but you already have all the members, do they have a seat at the table?
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Should we
May
just,
I?
do you want to change that?
Well, the way I understood this paragraph to read, it would have to be amended if a city were to add someone.
Okay.
But the way it's constructed right now, there are no city members. There is an express opening for cities to expand membership, which changes everything. As cities participate, this
Right.
paragraph has to change to account for the cities participating.
As it's written currently.
That's right.
So that might be something to consider. Then we wouldn't have to come back if we could wordsmith that. But.
Yes, I'd be in favor of there being some sort of triggering wording that would require us to amend the resolution every time.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can do. But I want to be clear what you're asking of the Law Department, Commissioner. You want us to craft the language so that if the cities add, it's accounted for, and if they do not, it's accounted for.
Yes.
Okay. Then we will gladly do that and take the liberty to revisit oversight and advisory input and my name.
Okay.
And I will second the oversight advisory discussion that was had. So thank you. I yield.
All right. Commissioner Masai?
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Chair. Just trying to understand a little bit more in terms of there's 2 subcommittees that are part of this larger committee and how the appointments are made for the 2 subcommittees. Are they, I just didn't quite understand that all too clearly. Can you delineate that a little bit more for me?
Yes, and so this was recommended by Southface and in the Clean Energy Transition Plan. The idea there was that there should be a sustainability component that's more focused on sort of the nuts and bolts of county operations. So it could be solar, energy efficiency, electric vehicles, et cetera. And so that's kind of more of a technical committee. Environmental Justice Committee would be more about the community at large. But basically, and Attorney Phillips, just correct me if I'm wrong, but basically, in essence, if once the chairperson is selected, then the goal is at the next regular meeting, the chairperson has, in essence, assigned the body to one of those committees, and that's sort of their committee. So it's kind of I think they call it a bicameral system, where there's sort of committees in between the bi-monthly meetings. So there's kind of a sort of a feeding up to the larger body, recognizing there's sort of 2 components of our clean energy plan. One is county operations, and the other is the actual DeKalb County as a whole community.
That's what you described when we put it together. I would say at the outset, though, when this group comes together, getting those things established will probably take at least 2 steps. Mm-hmm. Selecting their internal leadership, deciding who's going to work where and what their scheduling will be a second phase of that discussion, likely.
Yes, that's right. I think that's laid out in Provision 8. At the second regular meeting of each year, the chair shall appoint members to either Sustainability Committee, Environmental Justice Committee. And then one thing I will note, and this was brought up in our discussions about a month ago, but adding an environmental policy analyst position within the BOC, in essence, would be the BOC's support role in staffing this advisory group. And that's purely for the function of if there's policies or other input that needs to be received by the BOC, central staff have capacity to not only staff the advisory group, but also relay in sort of a practical manner to the Board of Commissioners.
Okay, thank you. And so just as a note, the chair or the co-chair may serve a maximum of 3 terms, so that's longer than the terms limits for a chair, or in this case, a presiding officer. And then it says that each member shall, in 7, serve 4 years, in a 4-year term. So is it that what's anticipated is that if a new commissioner comes on, then you still have a member that's still allowed to serve the rest of their years if it's less than 4, or what's sort of the thought, with that idea?
I believe, Attorney Phillips can chime in here, but I believe the intent there was just to reflect how we do all of our appointments. And so if a new commissioner comes in, I think that appointment, serves at whoever's in the seat. And so it in theory, could either be continued, or a new commissioner could simply, or a new CEO or whatever, could simply say, I want someone else to be in this role.
That's right. I think an easy way to think of it, Commissioner, is it's the will of the sitting elected official that has the appointment authority.
Okay. And so to the extent that we can, make that a little bit more clear, that I think would be helpful. But then lastly, and thank you so much for your indulgence, Mr. Chair, is 9. Just a thought in terms of looking at the language where the advisory group is authorized but not required to develop procedural rules. And so where we have an advisory group that's authorized to make procedural rules, just want to look at that scope of authority and responsibility related to those several issues. And so to give them that express authorization just wanting to see, how we're sort of doing that, what that looks like. And just taking a look at that. But that said, I yield back to you, Mr. Chair. Thank you so much.
Okay, all right. I think we've had some very good discussions on this topic. Compliments to and credit to Commissioner Terry for moving this forward. With that said, Commissioners, what do we want to do? It sounds like it does need a little bit more work, but as well as a sit down between Commissioner Terry and the CEO. What would you like?
I think I would look at the law department as well as Commissioner Terry, because they're the ones that need to do a little bit more work, and how much time and what is their pleasure on that. I do think it's important for us to see those edits, but.
Would it be too much flexibility? Well, go ahead.
I think an appropriate process would be for the law department to make recommendations on language to the sponsoring commissioner, and then at Commissioner Terry's discretion, he would decide when he was ready to present those to the rest of the commission, be it this committee or wherever you were in your process at that time.
Okay. Well, thank you, Attorney Phillips. So my suggestion would, since I think we just went over the changes. So, I mean, I think y'all know what the posture of the changes might be. So unless y'all want to have another discussion about what we just discussed, I would just say forward it to the full board with no recommendation, and then by the time it comes back, we'll have the updated language. And obviously, if there's anything between now and then, like specifically in the resolution or the appointments or anything that needs to be clarified, like feel free to provide suggestions or amendments.
I guess my only question in all of that is how do things break out with you and CEO? What is her vision, and ultimately how does it come back through the committee process? I'm fine advancing it to the full board. I'm also fine setting a date certain that it comes back. So again, commissioners, I'll leave it to you, and we'll take it from there.
I think I'm fine advancing it to the full board without the recommendation. So that would be, our next COW is next Tuesday, so I don't know if that, with the holiday, if that gives time for you guys to get the work done, since we're about to be off. But so I move to advance this item to the full committee without a recommendation.
Okay. Is there a second?
I would really, specifically as we're authorizing, them to develop procedural rules, that is something I would like to be able to see, particularly where they're creating committees. I would like some information and feedback from law in conjunction with Commissioner Terry related to that once we get that from legal before we advance this, would be my thought.
Mr. Chair, can I
and
address?
Maybe a date certain, that way it's not just lingering on,
Can I address that?
Please do, Commissioner.
Yeah, so, I mean, Attorney Phillips, feel free to weigh in here if you want, but, I mean, presumably this advisory group will follow Robert's Rules of Order. I think that's a given, but if we just need to say that, that's fine. I don't really know what other procedural rules they would develop. So, I mean, I think the idea here is that, it's meant to be a resident sort of centered, expert-centered advisory group. So the way this was drafted was just to kind of give them options. In other words, don't micromanage them.
So can I ask a question? I think it might help both of us with this item. So when it says procedural rules, you mean on how to function as a committee?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, kind of like how we have a blue book.
I don't think that was as clear in that last sentence as it could have been, because I had similar questions to Commissioner Messiah, but that helped clear that up. Maybe we can just specify that a little better.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just throwing this out for consumption. What if we said that It's going to the BOC for the December 16 meeting with a possible stop here back at PWI. If there's no other concerns or everything's good, PWI gives it a due pass, and then it goes to the full board. Is that?
Because we meet
Could
next
people?
Tuesday.
We meet next.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So
Well, we
moved.
can have those updates
Yeah,
by next PWI.
yeah. And so that in theory, you're on track for an end of the year vote, all things
Clarify
considered.
the rule. Me and you. Terry B. Phillips,
Okay, so
Esquire.
just so that we're clear, there was a motion that was on the floor. It failed
It
due to
failed
a
for
lack
lack
of
of a
second.
second, yes.
Do we have another motion?
The one you just provided us.
Okay, so the idea would be, it is going to be,
I'm sorry.
please go ahead.
The first BOC meeting in December is December 9th, and then there's another on December 16th.
Right.
So there are two BOC meetings in
And we have a PWI on which date?
December 2nd upcoming.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll say that it's due back to the BOC for December 16. If we can get a stop at PWI, that would be ideal. If it's not able, but still moving, we'll build the airplane while we're flying, so to
Yeah,
speak.
we'll make these changes.
All right.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, we
That
have
motion
a
was
proper
quick.
motion and we have a proper second. Just for clarity again, BOC December 16, PWI December 2nd.
Second.
And we'll advance it like that. Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, we got it taken care of. We have 14 minutes. However, I know that this next item is probably going to be a little more in-depth. Commissioner Terry, would you mind if, or
Well, I
what
think
are
it
your
actually
thoughts?
might be ready, it might be poised to be withdrawn, because Zach, isn't the Urban League launching the customer advocate office soon?
Yes, sir, they are.
When is that?
As a matter of fact, they've hired the personnel, trained them, and we have began sending items over, so.
Okay. Okay, great. Well, then this resolution can be withdrawn.
Do you want to withdraw it right now? Do you want
Yeah,
to
let's
do a little double check
now that
before
we
you
have the
go
customer
forward?
advocate, that was the whole point, is
That
just,
was
pause disconnections until the customer advocate is up. But since it's up and running, they have a person, and cases are being, three cases already been submitted. That's great.
Yeah, and they have 3 people on
Oh,
staff.
they have 3 people on staff. Yeah. How many cases have been referred?
Yeah, a handful, I want to say.
Okay.
Is it a handful,
That's great.
Dan?
Are you?
I think there's maybe less than 5.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's all we have open.
Right.
Okay. Great.
Move to withdraw item ending in 1508.
Second.
All right, all those in favor, raise your hand and say aye.
Aye.
All right. I know we don't have the Public Works generated reports yet,
Well, yeah.
so,
Peggy, would you like to? Well, depends how much time you have.
all right.
We have roads and drainage. You have a number of departments, as you know, or divisions in Public Works. so
Okay.
Depends on how much time you have.
Director Allen, 8 minutes, does that work?
Yes.
That gives us a little bit of transition time for FAB as well.
Pass this one.
All right, Marcus, thank you, man.
Oh, no. Okay, Commissioner?
When you're ready.
Okay. Director Lemke was asked to prepare Public Works generated reports. And what he wanted to do is kind of make it short for you and present to you a sample of the roads and drainage generated reports. This is a monthly report that's generated by the Roads and Drainage Division. It encompasses each section within the department, within the division. It was typically generated to let us know how we were doing. You know, we had our own internal KPIs, things that we wanted to present within the organization, also things that were of interest to the Public Works Director's office, and things that may have been of interest to the administration. So if you look at this document, each section in the division, the first section, this first page here is stormwater drainage section. This is basically the report that's generated by our drainage section. All of the section reports are using the same format. We report on the number of projects that we receive, complete, emergency-related projects, open projects during the month. If you go to the next page, we also talk about internal activities. For instance, on that second page, we talk about the midway the page, we talk about equipment, the new vac truck that we received, training, the different training courses that classes that the individual folks within the division receive. And we also discuss accountability. Each section is responsible for discussing accountability activities. And we talk about critically unmet needs. And we discuss accomplishments. Again, this report is the same document that goes out through the entire department. If you look at the third page over, that's just a list of, for instance, citizen drainage improvement program requests. You know, how many citizens did we provide rock to? These things are just typical things that the department does, what we do, how we track what we do, and how we share that information with, you know, upwards within the department, within the administration. A few pages over, you look at the roads and drainage asphalt section. And we discuss things that the asphalt section does. Typically, you know, each section is responsible for emergency response. So that's typical from storms or potholes or flooding or trees or things like that. So each section reports all of the things that they do during that month. And, you know, we have included a lot of different KPIs. Each section has a number of KPIs, but we kind of narrow those down when it comes to reporting on a department level. But, you know, we look for each individual section because we do a lot of different things within the division. And, you know, we also look over at our stormwater management section, and that's our stormwater permitting. You know, what type of inspections that we do, what type of outreach that we have with citizens, all of our community engagement. Let's see, you know, what did we do in our stormwater group? I mean, our flood management group. You know, how many flood maps did we generate? Things of that nature. So typically, each section, again, goes through and reports all of the individual things that they do on a monthly basis. Another one, getting closer to the back, is our traffic engineering section. We discuss, you know, how many signal malfunctions that we have, you know, what type of responses that we have to those malfunctions, how many traffic loops are out. You know, I work with the Georgia DOT. You know, what type of work did we do, I think we have here in Stonecrest. Signal preventive maintenance studies or maintenance activities that we do. School flasher preventive maintenance activities. Hawks and engines, which is underground joint utility notifications. How many signs did we make? How many signs did we install? Things of that nature. And we mentioned future projects. So basically, within the division, every section, everything that we do, we just throw it all together so we can report on just about anything that we're doing within the division.
Wow. I'm impressed with the detail that you guys have in here and the scope of work that you guys do. I think I saw something that says 200 and something potholes
Yes, sir.
were taken care of.
In 1 month.
In 1 month.
Yes,
That's some good information. I think that's very insightful on what you guys do on a daily basis, and I think that's easy to sell to our residents or let them know at the very least this is what your money gets. So thank you very much, Director.
Thank you.
Really appreciate that a lot. Commissioner Johnson, any questions from you?
Yeah, I do have a question. Well, actually, maybe more of a comment along those lines. You guys are doing really good work. Can we get this more frequently so we can help report out on the number of potholes that are getting filled, just to really show our residents all the great things that Roads and Drainage or Department of Public Works is working on? I think would be really helpful.
Yeah, agreed. If there was a way to remove the individual addresses and
Yes.
people, I think that would be appropriate. But just the totals. This is the kind of stuff that comes in. This is how we spend our time during the month addressing those issues that are raised by staff. I think that's a great thing.
Yes.
Commissioner Masai, and then.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chair, and I echo the appreciation of being able to have this information. Would it create too much of a burden to be able to add maybe where we have the locations, the districts?
That might generate a little extra work. We typically don't report by districts. We typically report by landlines.
Yes.
But we can see what we can do.
Yeah, just wherever feasible and where it's not creating, too much of a burden, maybe some of the locations, because, of course, there's certain streets that will just jump out at us, and then we could tell is in our district, but to the extent that, I'll tell you, especially in 3, we have a lot of folks that will come up and, all of the great work that we're doing, we're still hearing a lot about, potholes, and so to be able to, share that this is what's been done, and on this road, particularly, I think will be helpful, or where people are sending emails and wanting to add roads, if we can say, hey, that was just done, maybe they hadn't had a chance to visit, I think would be a bit helpful. So, yeah, don't want to overburden, at all, but just wherever feasible, and not too much work, then that would be great. Thank you so much again for this. I appreciate it. I yield back to you, Mr. Chair.
Zach? If I may, and I think our 2 things, and Director Allen and her team always does an outstanding job. Something we're looking to do, and we'll be presenting in the upcoming months, is dashboards throughout the enterprise that will take a lot of data like this and make it even easier to see. Okay. I believe did we present Project Finder yet?
I don't believe we did.
Okay, well,
no. I know we've heard
mention. Hold that. Because that will respond to some of the things that you're talking about. And it's going to start with watershed, but we envision Project Finder allowing people to see specifically where things are happening, what district, and so forth.
And that, to piggyback Commissioner Masai, that helps our job. 'Cause
Exactly.
we get the calls, we get the emails,
Exactly.
we have potholes, my street's never been paved, we get all that. So if we can really pinpoint, like, no, we're working, we're doing
Absolutely.
X, Y, Z, that
Absolutely.
helps
Yep,
us.
yep.
As a follow-up to that, I know in years past, we had talked about the idea of see, click, fix type app. Is CEO, is something
We're
where it's
working along those
accessible?
lines, yeah, and I think
Okay.
Project Finder will be something similar, and as we upgrade the website, there's a lot of things that we're moving on, because we hear you. I mean, we all want to make information much easier to access, so that there's not a great mystery, and then one of the challenges we recognize is that things come into the government, and we begin working on them, but we haven't done the best job of telling people. We just get it done. And so what we're going to do is a much better job of getting the word out that we got it, we're working on it, and they can track along. Yeah.
Okay. We also talked about this in years past, Commissioner Terry, but the notion of if there's a road is closed down, if there's a way to notify folks in the area, hey, I am going to stay tuned. Well, we're at the end of the meeting, Commissioners. I just want to say thank you to all of our staff. Thank you to the residents as well for tolerating your elected officials as we go through the process of improving the county. I hope everyone enjoys Thanksgiving time with your family. It's very important. It is the recharge that gets us. You're going to be in Texas. Oh, for the Cowboys, right? This is a different year. Anyway, but truly, thank you to everyone. I appreciate your time, appreciate your service to DeKalb County, and as I said to the residents and businesses, thank you for your support of DeKalb County and the elected officials, and we are truly working to make it better. Enjoy the holidays. At this point, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor, raise your hand and say aye.
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 Thank you so much.